Practice,
Yeah.
it seemed pretty peppy, and obviously getting the last practice in before you guys go to Little Rock.
Yeah, it was better today. I wasn't real pleased with Monday. Today we got better work today, so I kind of challenged them, and they stepped up. We didn't do a tremendous amount of hitting. We're going to hit a good bit on Friday night, so we were a little bit more technical today. But the tempo was good, the energy level was good, and we got some solid work done.
I know you're talking to him a lot about the importance of being road ready, especially with that stretch at the end of the season. Kind of toward that end, what will your routine be on Friday exactly, as far as when you guys will get on the bus and go to Little Rock, that sort of thing?
We're going to start out with a normal day. We got some meetings that we need to watch and some film to watch, but we'll get on the bus about 3:45 and try to roll us in town about 6 by the time we roll through, and tape and dress and be on the field around 7, which is pretty typical to rolling into a stadium. I mean, we normally get there and guys have about 45 to 50 minutes to get ready before the first group goes out, and we've set this up pretty much that same scenario. It shouldn't be anything new to all the guys that have played, but it's just something you don't normally deal with in the spring, just another opportunity to teach and learn from something.
I get the impression that, the message that you're preaching is it's never too early to be, I guess, road warrior ready, right?
No, you can't get enough experience of that. We handled it well this year with some tough road trips, and the Thursday trip to App, and tough win at South, and then the way things ended up at the end of the year, we had a lot of road games there late, and guys battled through it. But there's new bodies too that are going to be involved. There's new people that haven't been through that, and this season's schedule seems to even be uglier than that in terms of just how it stacks up. And we're hoping that those last 3 road games matter, and we need to be ready for them. This is another opportunity to teach.
You're already just a little over a week away from the spring game. As quick as this seems, where do you feel like the guys are now? I mean, as you get ready to go into Friday, and you're getting spring almost wrapped up already before you know it. I mean, do you feel like it's progressed where you want it?
Attitude-wise, it's been good. We've had a couple days where I thought we took steps back in terms of energy level and tempo level, but when we've challenged them, they've responded. There's just so many new moving parts offensively that I think it's going to take some time. But defensively, I think they've come in with a tremendous amount of confidence, and they're playing with that chip and that edge. And we've plugged in, Bo Centimore back in the mix, which has been great. And Kyle Wilson has shown up every day. He's been a huge addition and a great addition to what we're doing. When we get the other couple guys back, with guys like Tajay, guys like Ransom, I feel like we got a chance to be really, really solid over there and build on what we did last year. And we're going to have to be patient offensively. There's just a lot of new moving parts, and until you get the old linemen out there that are not practicing, until you're able to get some continuity, you're just going to have to battle through some tough days. I'm hoping that Friday we can get some rhythm going and create it, get a first down and create some tempo and see if maybe we can gel a little bit better. We should have Berg and Joe Backus both back Friday night, which should help, barring any setbacks between now and then.
Didn't lose any more linemen today, did you?
Didn't lose any more linemen today. Don't think we lost anybody today, but we're thin at that position mainly, and it just makes it tough with what we like to do and the tempo that we like to go. It makes it a challenge.
I was going to bring that up. I mean, how comfortable are you right now with the number of red shirts you have right now? Because it's pretty big, I think, compared to even a year ago.
It is, but the good side, I think, is all of them are manageable injuries. None of them are season-ending injuries. Everybody should be fine come fall. Some of them probably could practice now, but it'd be risky. I mean, Griffin Riggs and Jake Swally and Ransom, even Tajay, we could probably throw them back in there, but it would be risky. Both Jamar and Morton, we knew they were going to be out all spring. It was just what we had to do so that they could play at their best in the fall. Nobody's comfortable with red jerseys, but when you look at them in comparison to what it could be, we're pretty fortunate.
You mentioned Kyle Wilson, and I talked to Coach Coughlin the other day about him, and it just seems like a matter of him grasping the system. But outside of that, he looks the part.
He does. We knew he could run. We thought he was just a little bit longer, a little bit bigger version of Kyrie, kind of a headhunter to find the ball. His football IQ has proven to be really, really sharp. He loves the game. He very rarely makes the same mistake twice. He learns very quickly. So he's exciting to have. And with us talking about team speed and building team speed, he gives us a lot of versatility as to how we play some other guys defensively. And he'll be involved in every special team.
You got several guys that are going through their first spring with you. How are they all doing as a group as far as, picking things up and, grasping the concepts?
In terms of the X's and O's phase of it, I think everybody's done a really good job. The wideouts that we've plugged in, Justin, even though McInnes hadn't been able to play a whole lot, Cam Hooper, those guys have done a good job of knowing what to do. Defensively, like Kyle stepped in and really hadn't missed a beat. I think the hardest part right now is with Justice Hanson, just because we're having so many issues up front of creating some continuity on a daily basis. It's making it pretty hard on him. This is also the fourth offense he's learned in 4 years. He had 2 different coordinators at OU, then he went to Butler, and then he came here. That's a lot to ask. The systems have been similar, but not the same. So he needs a lot of reps to really get comfortable, but he does things on a daily basis that excite you too. That you see there's a lot of possibility there.
I was going to ask about that. I mean, just from the outside looking in, I mean, the quarterback competition. I mean, everybody's trying to get as much reps. I mean, and I know you're going to use Friday and you're going to use the spring game somewhat, but how do you feel thus far as the competition's coming along with what you can see, with what you got, as you mentioned, the old lineman out?
To me, that's the hardest part, is to really put those guys in a position where they can have a consistent pocket and protection so that they can make decisions 11 on 11. Until you really get that, and we may not get that this spring consistently, it may take to the fall. But the good thing about our guys will work all summer. They'll get reps at our base offense all summer long, and when we come back in fall camp with a full O-line, with everybody healthy and playing, it will allow us in a very quick, to me, in a very short time span to find out who's prepared, who can do the job, and who can. And we really don't have to know until about 10, 12 days out from the first game. I mean, that's very feasible to think we can go 3/4 of the way through fall camp and still not have had to make a decision. But it's a challenge now just because it's just new bodies every snap, and it's not what you're going to play behind when the season comes around.
For me personally?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been pretty good. I already know the offense pretty good. I've been in this offense for 3 years, so I already know like the ins and outs of the offense. So it's just about being perfect and trying to just do it the best I can.
Go ahead.
Coming into this camp, Lee, what's some of the things that you wanted to work on personally and maybe improve upon before spring camp's over?
Just mainly blocking and being more physical consistently, just all the techniques that go along with blocking, and also route running and stuff. Just being an all-around craftsman with the techniques.
How do you feel about this group as a whole? Your group as a whole. You've got the most experience, the most time on the field. You're pretty much going to have to take a leadership type role with the group. Just how you're handling that and how the group's responding.
Yeah, I really feel like we're good. Jonah, he traveled with us last year, so he knows the offense and stuff. Blake just got with us, and he's a good receiver and stuff. So we got guys who can really play, this year.
If it turns out where you end up being, the number one guy among the tight ends, you're pretty comfortable with that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm ready. I've been behind Grizz and King for 2-3 years, so yeah, I'm definitely ready.
What was it like for you to have the opportunity to kind of mentor under those guys for a year or two?
It was good. They really, worked every day. They knew the offense. It's good, being behind guys who know what to do, and you can just kind of compete every day and it just make you a better player.
All right, I guess the most important question is how you feeling health-wise?
Feeling better. Ready to go on Friday. So that's the important thing.
What is maybe some of the things? Obviously you've just been dinged up a little bit since last Friday. Mm-hmm. What has been some of the things you've been doing, obviously with treatment and whatnot, to get ready for this Friday?
Really just building the strength back up, and just making sure all the little bad guys inside my knee are gone, and just making sure I'm back healthy and just back strong, so I can make the cuts and do everything that I normally do.
You had the advantage of being here in the fall and being able to practice with the team. Mm-hmm. Then do you feel like that's kind of giving you a leg up on maybe being a little bit ahead in terms of learning the offense and the playbook?
It is what it is. I feel like I built a better brotherhood with the team and the receivers as a group, and I just feel as if being here from the fall to now, it just made us closer, and yeah, possibly I might have had a little edge learning the playbook, but really we all had an edge. We were just in there just helping each other, making sure we all knew what we were supposed to do. So that was really just the biggest thing. We were just there for each other.
How much of working as a quarterback and all that work you got as quarterback is going to help you translate into the receiver that you're going to be?
A lot. The quarterback's the most important person on the field. They got to touch the ball every play, and they got to know what the defense is in before the snap. They got to know if they're rolling, doing the play, before the play. So it's really just, being able to concentrate on the little things before the play. So I'll know what route to run or where to break or, where to go during the play. So it's really important because, I can tell what defense they're in, really.
Is there much of a challenge being a receiver when there's a quarterback competition going on? You've got really 4 different guys at this point in time taking reps and so on and so forth. I mean, where you come into a situation where there is the guy, I mean, you work a lot more if you're a receiver with that guy, but, guys are getting equal reps and you're trying to learn each quarterback. Is there a challenge to that as a receiver?
Yes and no. It's different when you have a lefty because you got to watch the spiral. But other than that, no, not really. It's just, all our quarterbacks are good. They can put the ball in. It's our job to make them look good. So,
how strong can this core of receivers be as a group, in your opinion?
As strong as we want it to be. We're the only ones who can stop ourselves, really. So it's just, we're a band of brothers. So we come together. One day we're all one person doing bad. We're all gonna do bad unless somebody steps up. So it's really just, we all gotta be there for each other and just build upon each other. So every day we come out here working.
How would you grade the offense's progress to this point through spring?
We're getting better each and every day. That's how I'm gonna grade it. We're getting better each and every day.
I was noticing earlier today they were down in the end zone running for pass skills and things like that. You were sitting there in the end zone, supporting, directing, telling people things. I mean, you were picking up things that they should be doing, shouldn't doing, kind of giving the direction. I mean, what were you saying to some of the other receivers out there?
Well, I was really just, like you said, I was pinpointing, what they were supposed to be doing. I was really helping Chauncey out because today was his first day back at A. So I was really just, helping him out, making sure that, he wasn't lagging,
right,
so he can run his route full speed and get there. And that's really all I was doing was just being supportive and just making sure he knew what he was doing.
Mentioning that, what you were doing today, it's something that a guy who can't go through workouts right now, practice or whatnot, is Kendall Sanders.
Right.
Obviously a guy you're pretty familiar with.
Right.
But just talk about the impact he's kind of had on you guys, from afar, since he can't practice right now. I see him coaching guys up and constantly giving tips.
Every day he's right there, and he's right there telling somebody what they did wrong. In meetings, he's coaching us up. You would really be surprised that Kendall's actually not practicing because he does everything we do, just he can't do it. Every play, he's right there clapping, good job, or telling us, we got to do this better. In meetings, do the same thing. So really, it's just, he's a tremendous teammate, an even better friend. So really, it just shows what type of man he is.
All right, cool.
So how do you feel like your spring's going to this point? Hearing a lot of good things about it. How it's going for you?
Take today out of it, pretty good. I was a little inconsistent today. I just need to kind of lock in. But it was probably good to humble me a little bit before we go into Friday. But yeah, I think the main thing with me is just being consistent and just focus on being consistent. That's what all the coaches keep telling me. So consistency. I think Coach Faulkner tells me that about 33 times every day. So consistency.
Going into Friday, outside of being consistent, what do you want to see from yourself in Friday's scrimmage?
Believe it or not, I'm excited to go live. I think that that really shows your true colors as a quarterback, being able to sit in there and take a hit and still complete the pass. I think that's something that I'm good at. I think that's something that I pride myself on. So I think, I think that's actually a good thing that they're allowing us to go live. I think it'll be good for our offensive line as well. I think some of those sacks that they're calling sacks aren't really sacks. And, so it'll be good. It'll be good for them to see that they're doing a better job than they really think they are. But, it's just the easy, the day one stuff, just moving the ball, don't turn the ball over. It's gotten to the point I'm in my 4th year. It's just do the right thing every single play and you'll be fine. Don't try and force the ball. I think I was trying to force the ball a little bit today, try to take a few shots. They're playing a lot of Tampa 2 today, so I probably should have just thrown the ball to the back a few times. But with that being said, I think I'm starting to understand the protections a little bit more. Being able to flip the protections. Coach Faulkner literally gives us unlimited, he doesn't care what we do. We can move guys around and everything, and I think that's something that really plays into my abilities. I think I'm a really smart guy, so I guess we'll just wait and see.
You're mentioning, that you mentioned some of the differences with Coach Faulkner. How do you feel like yourself, as well as the rest of the group, have picked up on maybe some of the different wrinkles that he's putting in, maybe some of the different terminology he's using on some things? How do you feel like yourself, as well as the rest of the group, is picking up on that this far into spring?
I think, the last 2 days we installed a few more things, so it's been a little hairy. But up until that point, I think, both systems make sense. It's just different ways to get there and different ways to attack different personnel. Obviously this system's going to be a lot, more pass emphasis, and I think there's a lot of good pass schemes in. It's just all about reps, and like I said, just being consistent with your reads, and just getting out there and being confident in what you see in the defense. Our defense does a really good job of disguising things, so there's a lot of post-snap reads as opposed to pre-snap. But I think everybody's doing a good job. It's just going to take some reps. I think by the end of spring, we'll be doing a great job, and then they're going to cut us off for summer, and then we'll probably look poor for the first few days of fall camp. But I think we're right where we need to be, and especially with the vast majority of guys that are out right now, even Cam Looper and Kendall and all those guys and all the offensive linemen get back. I think we're in good shape where we're at right now.
Speaking of Cam Looper, and I'll ask those questions, but before I ask that, the quarterbacks, we know they do a lot of film study.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm up there every day.
And I asked Cam about this. I said, I saw you down here today. You was pointing things out. He said, I was pointing things out to Chauncey. And he brought up Kendall, or you brought up Kendall Sanders. We were talking about Kendall helps the receivers too. So by them telling them, doing those adjustments, do you see those things on the film now that, okay, that receiver's not doing something right, but all of a sudden they're telling them, they're making them adjustments, and you're going, okay. I mean, I guess the question is that's just one other thing that you don't have to worry about on the list of adjusting the receivers, that these guys are doing it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think all of our receivers do a really good job. And, to be honest, we go so fast that I don't really have time to worry about it. There's a lot of trust. But those guys standing out there, and especially Kendall can't get any reps right now, being able to get the mental reps and help guys out, I think he's starting to learn the offense in a way. He's not just sitting over there in the corner, texting and stuff. He's asking me to throw him balls and all the time throughout, in between periods and stuff. And he's learning the nuances of the offense. He's not getting the live reps, but he's seeing the stuff. And I think it's starting to come together for him in his head. I was up there watching film yesterday, and I see Cam and Kendall up there watching film as well. So they're both real smart guys. They're both very talented on the field, but they're both very smart as well. And I've had conversations with Kendall about that. Just getting the spots. And I'll throw you the ball here. I just gotta there's a play we threw a post and they had double whammy blitz into the boundary, and I just kind of had to get it off. I didn't have enough time, but I just put the ball in the spot. Just kind of talking to him about that stuff. Again, it's all reps, and I think Kendall especially, he'll be fine. Cam will be fine. I think we're going to be good to go.
What's the attitude or approach of the scrimmage on Friday in Little Rock?
Personally, as a team.
Both.
As a team, I think go in there, get some good work done. I think it's going to be a challenge for us. Like Coach Anderson said, our 3 last games of the year on the road. We open up the game. We open up the season with 3 really tough teams. We're giving Toledo and Utah State just as much credit as Auburn. So I think it's going to be a good test for us, to go sitting on a bus for a few hours and move in and just seeing how we adjust as a team. Obviously come out of there with no injuries would be great. Just getting some good work in, having good energy, and yeah, like I said, just getting some good work in. Personally, if I can go in there, not turn the ball over, move the ball pretty well, get some first downs, make sure we're in the right protection, in the right play, and make sure that we're really stepping on the tempo button. I think with the number of offensive linemen that we've had, or lack thereof, it's been hard for us. The guys in the trenches are working their tails off. They're taking 4 racks in a row, guys like Mundy and Fontenot and Colton Jackson, all those guys. So I think we're going to have some of those guys back, and being able to really step on the tempo button really helps us. It really slows the defense down from minimizing them blitzing, and, you know, obviously they get more tired. So, you know, I think it plays to our advantage when we can really step on the tempo.